yeah, I want to really learn. They looking at what you can offer them based off when you accomplish these things, they want to reap the benefits. Instead of saying, let me really learn from her so I can really change myself. They looking at, oh, she said she want to be a multimillionaire. Okay. She want to do this. So a lot of people looking at you as an opportunity instead of an opportunity to get better for us within itself.
Right. Oh, that was a great way to put that.
So I know people that have been through that, and it's like a lot of people look at, they want to take advantage of their success. So I'm going to use this as an example. Say, people that came across you, and then once you reach that level, it's like, yeah, I know her. Oh, for real. When people reach that level, people don't think it's possible to be like, how you know her, or how you know him? They millionaires,
right?
They higher status. How you know them? I know them because I can call them. And it's like when somebody can reap off the success of benefits
of somebody else,
and then they can use it for themselves. Instead of really genuine being there.
Well, and even in that though, you're not gonna move or go far.
Yeah,
because so why not just do the shit right the first time?
Because people see this and success instead of genuinely trying to really learn and really be like, let me really apply this to my life. They trying to see like, okay, she doing this. So I wanna be a part of that. So I can get myself out of my current situation.
But when I say like I'm gonna be a multimillionaire, like I speak that for everybody. It all goes back to myself.
People might not believe that for themselves.
So that's what I'm saying. I think that people just have the gift of gab. Like people just like to show, like individuals just like the idea. That's it.
Until the work comes in or accountability.
Until the work comes in, or until the accountability comes in, and you gotta let them know. Like I notice that every time when I have to tell somebody something or hold somebody accountable, they feel some type of way. They take it personal.
Because it sounds good once they enter here, but once it comes to actually physical.
Yeah, right. So when you say it, I'm the type of person where I hold people accountable. Well, I want you to hold me accountable. I want you to, make sure I stay in alignment. But then when you slip up and I do that, it become a problem. Like I'm tired of that shit. Like I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going to say it bothers me, but it do kind of make me feel away. I don't stay there, but I'm human still. And it's kind of like, why are you wasting your time? Because I'm going to still be me. I'm going to still do this work with or without you. I'm still going to show up. I'm still going to host events. I'm still going to do what I know God has called for me to do. So when people say, I want to be a part, or what can I do to help, or whatever, and I be like, well, whatever you can do, whatever it is that your gift is, that your talents are, like what you do, you know how to DJ. So since that's your gift, I need a DJ because that's what you do, right? So I want you to do what you do, what you're best at. I think that when females see that another woman believe in herself so much, they get intimidated by that. And it causes those jealousy, envy, traits to start manifesting. And it's like, I don't want to be in a space where, even though I can't control that, but I don't want to be in a space where I'm putting on these events and it's women that is a part of what I'm doing, if that makes sense, is not working on themselves. And I'm talking about really, truly working on yourself, because a lot of people be pretending. And it's going to show if you being real or not.
The higher you move up, a lot of stuff is going to be exploited, because once people work on themselves, then they should be able to gradually.
They should be growing with you.
But once you move up and they're not working until it's going to exploit, because certain levels.
It has to show. Yeah. It has to show. And so I had to have conversations with myself, like, well, Mika, what is it that you could be doing? Because I'm going to be real with myself. I had to do like self-evaluations to ask my own self, like, is this something I may be doing? Is it a certain type of, am I giving off
And go back to
Energy.
what you said about just having that solitude and asking yourself and self evaluation for us. Okay, what can I do different? Or definitely because you made a good point for us having that solitude. A lot of people don't like to have solitude, have time to themselves just to reflect on things to better
Yeah,
themselves. So
yeah.
that's
I do. I make sure. I make sure those moments of spending time with God.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Making sure I'm spending time with myself to evaluate my motives, making
Mm-hmm.
sure that it's not me, right? But it's really what God is downloading inside of me to do. And so I have to make sure that I'm not putting off anything that can make a person feel away.
Mm-hmm.
And when people show that, it puts me in a position to be like, what's going on? What's up? And the fact that a person can even ask you that lets me know that it ain't me. Because if it is, I'm going to ask you to hold me accountable. If you're not going to hold me accountable, then don't give me an attitude or give me that type of, and this is just in general.
Yeah.
Don't give me that energy. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people females don't know how to communicate and articulate how they feel. But they are quick to wear a chip on their shoulder. Even in these environments. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can we really come together and host stuff like this if you having a chip on, like you really not, you pretending. Because we should be able to grow together and be able to do this together in our own unique way. Because again, it's not one way. It's multiple different ways. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's also what causes a lot of division, because a lot of times females think that, oh, she ain't doing that right. God ain't got nothing to do with that. God ain't in that. That's not God, that's her. And it be some stuff that where it is like that, where people are doing stuff for their own glory, to be recognized, to be seen, or to be, glorified. Mm-hmm. I've been in spaces where I've seen people only did stuff for camera.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people like to be the center of attention instead of doing things to say help others or whatever.
But you can't fake the universe. Mm-mm. Or you can't fake God. Mm-mm. You can't fake it. Because when you do, it's going to show. Mm-hmm. It's going to show. So it's like, when do people just be like, you know what, I'm going to just work on myself and get this shit together? Because even within yourself, you got to know if you being phony or fake or fraud. Like, you got to know. Mm-hmm. You have these conversations. They're just not going to admit it to themselves. Then you really silly. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I wouldn't want to have these conversations with myself. Like, I've had conversations with myself like that, where I had to be real with myself. Like, I don't want to be jealous of another person. I don't want to be hating on nobody. It's too much abundance out here to feel like I got to hate on somebody or feel like, why is this happening for them and not me? When it's way more than enough for every single individual in this world. Mm-hmm. There are no lacks. There's no limit. The scarcity mindset is what leads to women having these issues with other women, because they think it's not enough. But how can you think it's not enough if you're talking about God is your supplier of all your needs? Mm-hmm. Which one is it? Either you believe or you don't. And if you believe, then you don't need to have that scarcity mindset and think that what's happening for her only shouldn't be it shouldn't happen for her if it's not happening for you. Like, it's a lot of that going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm thankful to have you as someone to help me, because I really don't. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it, and I've experienced that for years. Like, everything will be fine, then something will happen, and it don't end messy. But it damn sure ends real, because I'm always the one that's asking, like, what's up? What's going on? Your energy off. Like, you ain't acting like you was acting in the beginning. Like, we gotta check in on that. We can't keep moving forward doing this work if you ain't right. You can't help nobody if you ain't helping yourself. That's true. You can't help nobody if you being jealous of other people or envious or hating on other people. That's like me saying I want to be rich, but I hate rich people. That's true. I can't hate rich people but want to be rich, because now I'm kind of hating me because I want to be rich.
Yeah, you're going to hate yourself once you become rich.
Yeah, it don't make sense. Let's make it make sense. So, like, it's just a lot of people who are so far away from themselves and disconnected from who they really are, that when they see other people like myself who is connected and I struggle, but one thing about me, I'm going to go within. I'm going to do what I got to do to get myself centered, because I love it being in that space. I love knowing who I am. I love being my real self. And being in that space, I'm able to be open-minded. So if I see somebody else that's out here doing some stuff that I never ever seen before, because I'm so used to seeing the traditional way of things, I'm not going to be like, oh, that ain't right. Or they shouldn't be doing that. People don't normally do stuff like that. Why? I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even speak like that about another person, because for me in general, like, I know me so much. Like, I know I'm unconventional. I know I'm unorthodox. I am that person that's doing stuff that other people not doing. It's just that their unique way of doing something different, that's their unique way. So I support them. I'm like, okay, I might can learn from. That's what keeps us from really tapping into our genius, who we really are, because we are not open-minded individuals.
True. That's true.
We quick to judge the next person. And then people always looking for ways to be offended. I see a lot of that via social media. Social media has turned into a platform of people who
They fake it. They show things that they don't have, and then once people really see the reality, it's like, oh, on social media.
Right. Yeah.
Show
Like,
yourself
I'm going to
like
see
this.
you. And let's just take it a step further. Let's, like, not even talk about material stuff. I'm talking about mindsets. Like,
you can just tell based off how people post, and you can just tell from their
yeah. And so
I say that all the time.
And so seeing that, it's like, it can be tricky and confusing, because I know a lot of people see what I do. I go out, I have fun, I party, I live my life free. And I know people see that and probably be like, how she somebody that's saying she doing this, and she an inspirational speaker, and she helping people, but she in a club, or she in...
That's our way of thinking. People think you're supposed to be a certain way to do a certain
thing.
Yeah.
And that's not true, because...
That's why it never makes sense to me. I could be a DJ, or because I'm doing things to help people or whatever, I gotta live a certain way. I'm not going out doing some crazies. I'm not killing people. If I can't go to a club and enjoy myself, that's not godly. Say, what? Okay.
If I hear one more person say God ain't, that's not God, or God ain't, listen, God is in every individual. I don't care if you in
exterior.
Yeah, God is not no.
That's probably the first thing that disconnects people, because people think, far as God is exterior and it's within. Even when it comes to praying, it's praying, like I said, to our higher self, to understand what we praying about. We trying to manifest into ourselves, so we can actually go about it, doing it in the physical realm.
Yeah, exactly. So people, that's why if someone was to ever ask me a question like that, you be out, or you be living your life, you be doing a lot of stuff, and you still, like, if someone's to ask me a question like, how do you do that? Like, my response would be, I just be myself. That's who I am. Now, am I always going to be in settings like that my whole life? No, that's why it's called a journey. And living this journey, people get to see me grow. Because next year, you might not catch me in a hookah lounge smoking hookah. Or you might not catch me hanging out. Is it wrong? No.
It's just something that
you grow.
Yeah. Or whatever your choice is for.
Yeah. And even then, I might decide, hey, I want to go smoke some hookah today, and I'm going to go do it.
Or you might own your own hookah lounge.
Or I might own my own hookah lounge. Like, whatever. Like, this is what works for my life. And I don't think people understand when we talk about God, I don't think people get it. They take it so
Literal.
literal. And when I say I see God in people, I really do. Because when I see a person using their mind and believing in whatever it is that they want to do or be, and they apply action to that, then look, you believed in yourself. Now, if we talking about somebody who believed in themselves so much to go out here and commit a crime, they believed it. They did it. God orchestrates death. People don't want to hear that. Why? Because when we hear God, we just think of the God up here. But when we talking about people that's vibrating at a lower level, at a low frequency, their God that's inside of them, because God still is present inside of them. Their God self is vibrating there. So they are activating those energies, those spirits on that level. So their God is orchestrating these things. We get free will. You get to pick and choose. It's a choice that you choose to make. So when we talk about God, people think, has this thing, because if someone was to ask me what is God, is energy.
Yes.
God is energy. And we live in a world where we are energy.
Everything is energy. That's why what people don't understand is just the thoughts of what somebody thinks. Somebody can feel that. Or based off their body language.
Yeah.
I can walk in here and be like, you off today.
Yeah. You can feel the energy. And when you ask the question, what's going on? They can't be real honest with you and be like, oh, I'm good. But you can feel the presence. You can feel the energy. That's why when we go to church, when we hear pastors or ministers and stuff say, we can feel the presence of God. Like you can feel the presence in those settings of God. When you got all these people that's in sync and center with God's source, what you think is going to curate in that environment?
Everybody's going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy.
They're going to feel the presence of God. They might shout. They might cry. They might catch the Holy Ghost. They might, whatever happens. That's because the energy in that space is in sync. So listen, what if we can get the whole world of people on that frequency? What you think this world? It won't be no violence. It won't be no hate. It won't be no none of this.
Scarcity. Everybody will be helping each other.
Yeah.
It go to the point that money and everything being valuable because it's more like, oh,
you got it.
I do this, and
money won't even be relevant.
I used to be years and years ago. It's just like, oh, if you make food, I can say somebody that make weapons.